Ram Mandir just changed my life even after being absolute and utter perpetual Nastik. पूरा का पूरा atheist होने के बाद भी, and it can change yours too.
क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
Do not like the video. Do not subscribe. Yes, you are hearing it right. If it does not add value in your life, because I guarantee you it will change your life. Before starting the video, let's say these 3 magical words. Yes, you know them, right? घर घर में अब So my story starts like this. 26 years ago, God birthed this beautiful, kind, cute bacha named as Harish Gaikwad on this planet Earth. But the only problem, atheist. Nastik होता पोरगा, नास्तिक था वो.
कभी-कभी लगता है कि अपन ही भगवान है.
Even after being raised by such religious family background, I used to think कि Lord, Allah, भगवान ऐसे सब कुछ नहीं होता. ये सब बनाया हुआ है और इसका कोई scientific proof नहीं है. But little did I know, I was wrong. I still remember I was eating my yummy ass meal and my dad was watching news, which I never believe. Propaganda oriented machines.
हाँ मेरा यार है केजरीवाल. हाँ मफलर पाक के
चक्रवर्ती बोलती है ड्रग दो ड्रग दो ड्रग दो ड्रग दो ड्रग दो मुझे ड्रग दो मुझे ड्रग्स दो. वो कहती है मुझे ड्रग दो.
Which ended up on Ram Mandir. Ki how Ram Mandir is going to be built, how it took years to fight this case, and finally the government is making it happen. To be very honest, I was at a very low time of my life mentally. And then I figured out, why not just sit down and think about how 100 people of atheist are and how 100 people who believe in God are. And the results blew my mind. The second I figured out that normally the atheist hold himself accountable for everything, but he had some questions unanswered, like where does the water come from between the mountains and ends up into a beautiful river? Where does the soul go after the end of human life? और सबसे ज़्यादा confusing, who put water in that coconut? उसके अंदर पानी कैसे गया? Basically, you get my point. Atheists had no answer to such vaporous and confused questions which were above science. But for the people who believed in God, and they always had one answer which they can rely on undoubtedly. God. Anyway, it's a very vital point. Isn't that beautiful that you are your only original? You will exist only once in this lifetime, and there will never ever be a person exactly like you in the trillion humans which are going to be created later. That's so beautiful. This is God's creation. This is above science. So I went into the deep brainstorming and tried thinking it in the most practical way, and I figured out that the Newton's third law says that there is an equal and opposite reaction to every action. Which means if demons are real, like there are many people in this world who do such heinous crimes like terrorists, people who rape kids and much more. Just like the evil, there has got to be the good side, right? Equal and opposite force. There is no light without dark. There is no sun without moon. No dark without sun without moon takile bhai. So if the evil exists, God has to exist. No light without dark. So I thought of an example, like let's just think that there is a barren island. One, there are people, and just because you are entering their territory, they run behind you and they kill you. And on the another barren island, the Adivasis watch you. Everybody protects themselves, make sure that you are not gonna hurt them. On the back of the mind, they want to kill you, but they just fear that if they kill you, God will frown upon them, and it will be haram, and it will be heinous, and they have to pay back. So even the idea of fearing God saved a life. The amount of people who go to mandirs, masjids every day and just pray, and who are not doing wrongdoing just because they fear God, is exponential. And I'm pretty sure whenever you did something wrong in your lives, you felt that someone is watching. That is God. Anyway, it is so funny that when you think about it, there was no atheist on the Titanic when it was sinking. I'm pretty sure there is no atheist when you put a gun to his head and he'll be helpless and there is no one to help him. The first thing that atheist, the Nastik guy, is going to say is, God save me. Isn't that funny? That's when I also figured out true Nastik can be a true Astik. Again, the same formula. There is no light without dark. Sun and moon, hot and cold, black and white. So as I kept on getting deeper and started experiencing that believing in my God, that is Sri Ram, made me a better person, I learned one last lesson about God, which I would love to share it with you, and I would like you guys to take it seriously. So I learned this lesson from one of the stories my dad always talked about, of a woodcutter. So there was a woodcutter who used to cut woods for living, and he went on a tree, and by mistakenly his axe fell in the river. He went down the tree and he started crying, and he started saying, why did you do this to me, God? And God came. He showed him a golden axe and asked him, was it his? He said no. He showed him a silver axe. Was it his? He said no. He showed him an axe made up of diamond. Was it his? And he said no. In the end, God took his original wooden axe out and gave it to him. And he asked, is this wooden axe your axe? And the woodcutter nodded his head and said yes. Watching how true and honest the woodcutter is, God gifted him all the three axes made up of gold, silver and diamond. The woodcutter went home. He told his story to his wife and brother, but his brother never believed in God. So what he did? So the brother went on the tree and purposely made his axe fall in the river. And what happens is the God never came and went down the tree and cried for hours, but God never arrived. So the lesson I learned from it is it will make absolute and utter no sense if you don't believe in it. The only difference between both the brothers was the first brother believed in God, the other did not. So, boiling down to the point, God exists for those who believe in it. God exists for me because I believe in it. It does not for you because you don't. The second you ask, is God real? It ends then and there. God is not real for you, but He is real for the person who believes in Him absolutely and utterly from deep down his heart. I was so surprised about myself that the second I started believing in God, the void I always felt deep down in my heart. Am I enough? Am I in the right place? Am I really supposed to be here? What is life's purpose? Why am I really alive? And eventually I got all the answers to the questions which cannot scientifically be answered. And I am grateful for even the little things in life, just like my pinky. So I started saying such things that I am the luckiest man on this planet. There is no one like me. God loves me. These affirmations I started putting in the universe, and the universe started rewarding me back because I also believed in them. So this is how Ram Mandir changed my entire life, and I was feeling like I was reborn again with a purpose of life. So as promised, I'm a man of my word. If this video added no value to your life, don't like, don't subscribe. But if this video added a little value to your spiritual and pulled you a little closer towards God, you know what you have to do. Only then show some love by liking and subscribing. And in the end, spam it in the comments. Those 3 golden words.